nerderotic.com.
Greetings, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the Friday Night Tights Super Chat Square Up, filmed in front of a live Patreon audience. And I hope everybody is doing well. You saw me skirt my little logo to the left because things weren't lined up. One-man show. One-man show. So we have, who do we have here? We have Bird of Prey 5, Grant Kelbrick, Echo Watt, Josh, what's up? We have, who else? Is that it? Is that it? All right. Did I miss somebody? Josh, Bird of Prey 5, Grant, and a Kapla, by the way, Echo Watt. Great. We're going to start right away. Oh, now I got something in my eye. Yeah. So I was up late last night, even though we ended it after 5 hours, 5 short hours. Man, those things wiped me out. But it was fun. It was another fun episode. It was great having Nick Ricada on. So we will get right to the questions. I'm pretty sure I'm going to overlap here, but that's fine. I thought I was lined up, but maybe I wasn't. Let me read a couple of these first. Yeah, because Peter came on later, which was great. Oh, I remember somewhat what the last one was. It was lined up. I know I didn't read these, so give me just a moment here. Damn it, I hate it when it's not lined up. Captain Spire. I know it was Captain Spire we left off last time. There we go. All right, cool. Art of the Real is where we're going to start off. I don't know if I read this one last night or not, but we'll just read a couple. And then at the end, I'm going to kind of go through and see if any jumped on me. And that's just, it's all good. It's all good. So thank you for joining me this Saturday afternoon. I'm thinking about doing a chill stream tomorrow morning, maybe before my member stream. There's a member stream for those of you who are members at 12 p.m. Pacific time tomorrow. All right, so last night there was a lot of talk about Naughty Dog whistling, the comic book crisis. We had Peter Samedi come on later. We had Nick Ricada on. We had RK Outpost come on. He's still got strikes. A lot of people still have strikes. Some are being lifted. I don't know if anything was lifted today, but the saga continues. So, The Art of the Real for $20. I'm trying to migrate everyone I support from Patreon to Subscribestar. What I find annoying about Subscribestar is they bill your credit card piecemeal instead of once a month. Yeah, that is a bit annoying. And also, I mentioned last night, there's also invasive paperwork, and they need social security numbers, and it's like, I don't like that. Private Halo 117 but thank you for the $20, The Art of the Real. And there is a solution out there, and I am working on it. Right now, if Patreon comes through, I'm okay with the mistake. I don't like what they did to Sargon, but I think they do offer a certain amount of security for the people who are here, and I have to think about them first. Have you seen Mickey Mouse? We tried to look at this one. Have you seen the Mickey Mouse propaganda poster by Mechanic Shark on DeviantArt? Hi all, Jeremy lives. He does, and we looked for it and we couldn't find it. Clinton Ramsey. I just pre-ordered The Last of Us, then immediately canceled my pre-order just so Sony could taste the money they aren't getting from me for $5. Good. I think a lot of people will be doing that. I actually think Sony is way more concerned about perception. They are concerned about money, but right now they're just trying to still fight this so they can maximize their dollars. And we'll see in a month. We will see in a month. I guarantee you, as everyone has said, it will get great reviews. And it might be a great game. And it's really way beyond the game at this point. It is, right, guys? It's about reality is perception. The list doesn't have a timestamp. It does when it, Dario, welcome. And what's up, Columbus Banker Bob? It has a timestamp when you're live. It doesn't have a timestamp with these. Eventually, I think it will have one. I think it will. Grayson L for $10. Sony has been editing, censoring games for years now. They've been headed down this path. We're just only now seeing the result of their follow through. Yes, you're right, and we're seeing the result of the follow through for a great many things. We are seeing the end game of the woke era. They had every intention of ramping this stuff past 11, and then the beer bug hit. Then the beer bug hit and changed everything. Diego Flores for 5 pesos. We'll just say pesos. Dorn should return. The palace needs to be fortified again, and he is not dead. The supplement retcon that. Now he is hiding. I don't know what Diego is talking about. When I hear Dorn, when I hear the palace, when I hear he is not dead, he is hiding, I think of A Song of Ice and Fire and the Palace of Love. The Rhoynish Palace of Love that was destroyed by the Valerians, and now it's the Palace of Sorrows. And in A Storm of Swords, which is the best book in the A Song of Ice and Fire book series, in my opinion, Tyrion Lannister was sailing down the Rhoynish River. I forgot what it's called, with John Connington and Aegon, the Mummer's Dragon, and he encountered a bunch of stone men and the Shrouded Lord, who might be working with the Corsair King and Euron Greyjoy to bring in the Long Night, to bring back the Long Night. And that is my favorite conspiracy. That's the big picture in A Song of Ice and Fire. So Dorne is of Rhoynish descent. Actually, the Martells are. A lot of the Dornish no longer have the Rhoynish blood. And the Palace of Love was one of the wonders of the world on Planetos. I'll call it Planetos. And Tyrion sailed by there. Now, he encountered the Shrouded Lord, who a lot of people think is Gerion Lannister, his uncle, his favorite uncle, who went to Valyria looking for the Lannister family sword and never returned. And a lot of people believe he is the Shrouded Lord. So I'm sure that's probably a Warhammer thing or something, but that's what I think of when I hear Dorne and Palace. Yeah, there you go. I don't know about a supplement, though. Southeastern Kaiju, thank you for the diamond sticker for $1.49. I appreciate it. Michael Green, have Dan Fraga on here to talk about Black Flag. I eventually will. At some point, do a comic book roundtable and stuff. That is on the table. Jaegerbomb for $5. Hard about Star Wars girl being an SJW target, hypocrisy at its finest, so stunning and brave. I want Corvus Corax to come back. Keanu Reeves of 40K. Don't know Corvus Corax. Sorry to say that is, but I don't know what happened to Anna. What happened to Anna? Was it something on Twitter or was it on something on YouTube? I have no idea what happened. But as far as false flagging and takedowns, it happens a lot. It happens a lot. That's weird that happened. Was it over Naughty Dog? Or was it something else? Was there another takedown? I mean, SJW Target. Yeah. I mean, she puts herself out there on Twitter. And sometimes you will get targeted by the SJWs because Twitter is a haven for the SJWs. It is their platform. It is their playground. They don't do very well on YouTube, but they do very well on Twitter. I kind of see that as their space. That's why I don't like it very much, because it's tailor-made for lame arguments that and people can just snipe at each other, and you can't really. I mean, you're assuming somebody's. Oh God, it's like, okay. I heard this in marriage counseling. When you have an argument over text, you are projecting a voice. So if I'm hearing Mrs. Nerdrotic, I might be hearing Mrs. Nerdrotic in Mrs. Nerdrotic's really pissed at me voice when it might not have been that at all. So a lot of that, you're trying to find, you're assuming context and everything. That's why I hate Twitter. It is, like Nick said, it is made to argue. That's it. That's all it's there for. So, nah. But yeah, I hope everything's okay. Bald Eagle, 1787 for $5. Watch if the Emperor had a text-to-speech device. Do it. It's a fantastic, hilarious, bad overview of Warhammer 40K. Do it. More Warhammer 40K stuff. I love the Warhammer 40K guys. They love that shit. That is great. And may it remain pure forever. Kamikaze Kid for £5. Magnus the Red did nothing wrong. Change my mind. No, I won't argue with you at all. Variable 556 for $2. Abby something. Abby who? Abby Normal. That's what I said. Yeah, that's from Abby Normal. Abby Normal. Niche Japanese titles. Greater than AAA games nowadays as well. Christine Nardone for $5. Yes. As far as AAA games have, they've been infiltrated just like big franchises have been infiltrated. It's systematic. It is deliberate. It's systematic. They're not infiltrating up-and-coming stuff. Clear Sky Guardian for £5. I find it ironic that with all the insertion of politic into our media, they're removing people's safe space from politics. They are. And that's a great way to put it. That was, I hate safe space. I hate the term, but that was our place to go to escape from that stuff. And the deal is they don't want us to. They want to keep us divided, keep us arguing, distraction. So both sides can go collaborate and collude together to, whittle away at our civil rights. Little stuff like that, It's not that important, really. So our distraction can no longer, it's Inception, right? It's 4D chess. Our distraction is no longer a distraction but it becomes a bigger distraction. Carlos Juarez, Mortarion is the biggest biatch in the galaxy. The Emperor protects Guy. May his list guard you're against the taint of chaos. God damn it. Mortarion is the biggest biatch in the galaxy. The Emperor protects Guy. May his light guard you against the taint of chaos. May his light guard you against the taint of chaos. I have no idea. I mean, it might as well be Mandarin. But thank you for the $4.99. Night Nights Midnights. Thank you guys for always keeping it honest and real 24/7 for the true fans. Stay healthy and safe during this time. That name will not be mentioned. Oh, the name that we can mention it now. We can say COVID now. Pooh Zerker for $2. Nick, quick, sell every one of your Warhammer 40K. Oh, sell everyone on Warhammer 40K. Hail, I think, in how to sell people on Warhammer 40K. Okay, don't take this. Well, you might take this offensively, but don't. Okay? You don't sell. It's the blah, blah, blah. It's like we have no idea what you're talking about. That's not going to sell people on Warhammer 40K. What sells people on something is hearing about the story, plot details, character details. It sounds like I haven't heard anybody say anything bad about it, so it sounds great. It does. But nobody knows what you're talking about. Who isn't into Warhammer 40K. And you know what? Maybe you should just keep it that way now that I think about it. Just stick with the random references because then it won't get infiltrated and then you can sell your friend on it by, turning them on to a story or something like that, but maybe just keep it off the internet altogether or it will get infiltrated eventually. If it gets big enough, it'll get infiltrated. Nightwish Fan 1991. Mark Strong, protect the weak, Wade. The bully hunter himself, Mark Wade. That's right. Gun Shadow and Hail for $2. Nick fears legal eagle. Don't deny it. I don't think so. I really don't think he fears the legal eagle. Nightwish Fan 1991 for $5 more. Last of Us 2. It's Ma'am. Hunts down and beats up 2 lesbians, one of them pregnant. I am very confused about the progressive message of this game. This is proof that we've reached the woke endgame. Picard was the best representation of it because every female was indeed portrayed as powerful and a complete biatch. So you end up going so far out, you come back again. Zarindu for $5 New Zealand dollars. When you stare into the cuckold abyss, the cuck stares back at you. Neeler. Ray Drake for $5. Nerdrotic and Jeremy, love your channels. Nick picked up a Laffridge quarter cask. About to pour a glass. Oh, that's a booze? Is it called Laffrig? Laffrig? Well, enjoy. Jack's Smirking Revenge. Ricada. Great indie game. Blasphemous. Check it out. Ron Soy's Beat Stick for $5. Think if I take the no bail option in Cyberpunk, I'll have a cuck voice like Ron the Remote Soye. Oh, I know who Ron Soye is. Through Nick Ricada. Appropriately named, I will say. Pooh Zerker for $5. It means to have unrealistic standards of beauty. I'm a guy who was born in the 80s. I'm so glad Terminator, Rambo, and Die Hard didn't exist. I forgot what that was in reference to. It's on the tip of my tongue, but I can't quite remember. Unrealistic standards are a good thing in Hollywood. I like that. I like unrealistic standards because it's something to aspire to when it's ridiculous and it's fun. And I don't go to a movie to see a dad bod 50-year-old running around and everybody looking like the people I work with and stuff. I go to my superhero movies or my action movies to see hot women and muscly dudes doing amazing things. Now, as far as, character traits, make them good characters, write me a good story, and don't worry about anything else. This is the biggest problem with Hollywood is right now they used to have infinite stories they can write about. They could be as creative as they want. And the only thing stopping them was the R rating and the PG rating, but you still could tell your story. Same with books. You were free to get as crazy or violent as you wanted in a book. Same with a comic book. Especially 80s, 90s, you could, even recently in the early aughts, you had all those torture porn comics, and I hated them, but I didn't want them not to exist. You had free expression. Now, the Puritans are out there, and it's not the religious right. It's not the right at all. It's the progressive left who are putting everybody in this box that's shrinking all the time. And pretty much, you're going to have to write a story about two people wearing gray jumpsuits, and you can't tell the difference between their genders, and they're just going to be saying nice things to each other. It'll be NPC. We'll be watching NPCs in a movie. That's where we're going, because the artists and writers are self-editing out of fear of a stupid platform filled with blue check marks who have way more influence than they should over the creatives. They don't have influence over the masses anymore. That was gone a long time ago. But they still have influence over the creatives. And we're starting to see a few break away. And it's nice. It was a slow process, but hopefully this speeds it up. There was an article, I tweeted about it. I'm probably going to do a video where some Hollywood celebrities signed some pact with some scientists that we need to rethink and re-examine our lives, because the plebs can't do it without the celebrities showing them the way. Okay, so we need to rethink material possessions, and that's all well and good, but I don't need adult pretenders telling me how to live my life, and I don't think you do either. But I love it when they try to do it. It's hilarious because they really are that dumb. They don't understand that they are the personification of a commodity from capitalism that's pure luxury, that is not needed at all. It is the first thing to go when shit goes down. And I was very disappointed to see Kate Blanchett be part of that, and Adam Driver and Joaquin Phoenix, but gonna roast you anyway. That tomorrow. That's coming out tomorrow. Oh, Crusader Sarakin. Nick, what would the costs and legal hurdles be to have a division of Nintendo dedicated solely to finding and porting indie games to the Switch for $5? That's a good question. The legal hurdles, that would cost a ton of money. I don't know. Is that something you can put on the Switch as an addition? I don't understand the Switch. So is that something like your phone? You can put an app to find that? Is that something outside of, because I don't think Nintendo would want you going off their platform to find other things to do on their platform. That would be my guess. Unless it was, that would just be the first thing off the top of my head. But I'm coming from total ignorance on that one. So my kid has one. I don't know anything about it. Swinging Cod for $5. Not going to lie. I'm going to be a fada in CP 277 and a GGG cup boobs and have a 12-foot wang and a massive cunt lips. I fly around on like Mothra for funsies. Oh, it's so brutal when you can't put the words you want to put in super chats, and I have to figure them out. So he wants to have massive cunt lips and fly around like Mothra for funsies. And why not? Why not? If you can, do it. Nobody's judging. Sebastian Annan for $5. Jeremy editing video. Jeremy, the camera has been on the whole time, huh? Yeah, Jeremy likes to multitask on Friday Night Tights. I don't care. It doesn't bother me. If it did, I would tell him. I'm not a passive-aggressive person. I know a lot of people might think so, but if something truly, truly bothers me, I will say so. I have no problem saying so. I tend not to get bothered. On a live stream, listen, the live streams are fun. It doesn't derail him at all. And Jeremy's a pro, so he can edit a video and do a live stream better than 99% of the people on this platform. And I appreciate that. City of Heroes tequila server. Screw DCUO. Captain Spire. I got to go. I know there's a City of Heroes server out there. I don't know why. Screw DCUO. I don't know who that is. But I haven't gone on it yet, and I'm afraid to because just like somebody warned me last night about Witcher, just sucking my time away. City of Heroes would suck my time away. I got hooked on that game bad. It's such a fun game. Carrie Hedinger for $1.99. Don't forget about the RiRi Williams TV show. Oh, we won't. Honestly, there is a way. All right. As far as RiRi Williams is concerned, yes, it's possible for them to make a watchable TV show if they completely forget about her source material and start from scratch and make her a believable character that isn't just this over-the-top, girl of science because we need women in STEM. I know it's not going to happen, but it's possible. I'm just saying it's possible. The fact that it's not going to be a movie is a good sign. The fact that it's going to be dumped on Disney Plus, kind of a bad sign though, because I want to watch the MCU on Disney Plus. I have the desire to do so. But RiRi Williams is about the, 5,000th thing I would want to see. There are about 5,000 more characters I would rather see than RiRi Williams made into a TV show. And the fact that she jumped ahead of, oh my God, Daredevil. Let's think of a Moondragon. I'd rather watch a Moondragon TV show. Satana, something. Bogue. Here he goes. DCAU greater than the DCEU. Normies can suck it. Live action blows. Bogue for 20 Mexican dollars. Live action DCEU is not of high quality, but the DC animated universe is pretty good. It's pretty good. It's gone downhill a little bit of late. And it's gotten a little woke, but the early stuff was masterful. But that's some of the only animated. I don't know. It's my age. It's hard for me to sit through animated stuff now, and it has to be like really. It's got to be like okay, it's got to be that good. But that being said, I know a couple people who used to work on the DC animated shows, good guys, and the stuff was pretty damn good. And I own a bunch of it. But honestly, after The Dark Knight Returns, it for me, it was kind of downhill. Arian for $5. Remember when we was the weirdos? It's strange. We still are, in a good way. We're still the weirdos. But remember when we were the ostracized ones? We were the unwelcomed? Well, we're that again. Right back where we were. The nerds became the system. It's kind of like Generation X. Generation X is one of the biggest disappointments in life. The do-it-yourself generation. Now, I don't want to paint with a broad brush. Just like, there are good boomers out there. There are very good Gen Xers out there. The ones who stayed true to their core. But most of them are a bunch of sellouts. The fact that I hear a Gen Xer it being into collectivism in any way, shape, or form is insane. And a betrayal to our entire generation. Best supernatural quote. Heed his last haw. NA for $2. I remember that. I used to watch Supernatural. First 5 seasons were... I'm about to unplug my cord here. Hang on. We're great. I'll catch up someday. The honest reviews for $5. What's the difference between Cancer and CW Batgirl and Supergirl? Cancer is survivable. Oh, yeah. Yeah, that's really great. I almost should do a video on that. I don't know how many people. Hang on a second. I've got too many cords down here. I'm about to unplug myself. Um, I'm a twitchy person. I can't sit still. I've always been like that. That's just the way it is. It's not going to change. I've tried. Doesn't work. I'm a twitchy. I move a lot. I do. So Supergirl movie, the Supergirl movie getting canceled is great. Is great news, and it's all due to The Witcher. The Witcher probably got the attention of Jar Jar Abrams, and let's be clear. Let's be really clear. The person in charge of DC superheroes now is Jar Jar Abrams. So let that sink in. So as great as it is to see a Henry Cavill Superman coming, and listen, I am a giant Superman fan, so even if Jar Jar directs it, I'll go and see it and give it a chance. Probably suck, but I'll give it a chance. And who knows? Maybe that's. I mean, that's his. I doubt it because I just think the guy is totally overrated. I want to try to give him a chance. I think if Jar Jar Abrams is going to, the one time he's directed coherent, decent movies, he didn't write them. He was just there as a hired gun. If he just directed, didn't write, didn't produce, just behind the camera, and had a strong producer over his shoulder, like limiting him on shots and stuff like that, and limit him on budget, maybe, just maybe, we can get a good movie out of him. I want the DC universe to succeed. I want it to kick Marvel's ass. I really do. That is my desire. F Marvel. I'm pissed. I'm betrayed. As a lifelong Marvel fan, I have been told by their comic company that I'm a Yahtzee, I'm a bigot, and they flipped me the middle finger. And that was the thing. Comics, the medium of comics, were the thing I loved the most. The most. Out of anything. And I feel betrayed as a lifelong fan. So I hope DC kicks their ass. I really do. It's personal. I'm a jilted lover. I freely admit that. I'm biased. Absolutely. Yes. Adam Wolford for $2. Hey, Nick, when are you going on EFAP? When they ask him, I bet. EFAP, Mahler is really good at picking the right people for the right subject for EFAP. That's why it's so successful. Wonder what would be a good Nick Rekieta subject. That's something I have to get back to you on. I want to see them follow Justice Lords for once. I want to see them follow Justice Lords for once. Says Clear Sky Guardian for £2. I do not know what that is in reference to. I can try to find out, though. Hang on. Is it... oh, man. That's been going off all day. All right, so that appeared in... oh, yeah. Supervillains who were first appeared in the televised two-part Justice League episode, A Better World, which was broadcast November 1st, 2003. The Justice Lords were brought into the DC Comics canonically multiverse with the Multiversity Guidebook number 1 by Grant Morrison, 2015. There you go. Oh, yes. I completely spaced that. Right on. That'd be cool. That would be good. All right. Adaption of What's So Funny About Truth and Justice and the American Way would make a great movie where Superman fights for his integrity of not killing against a rogue super team that kills everyone who stands in their way. The honest reviews for $20. Yes, absolutely. There are the most ridiculous statement to ever come out of Hollywood was, "We don't know what to do with Superman." Go crack open about 1,000 comics and pick something. There are a lot of good Superman stories. Are there seminal Superman stories? Yes, absolutely. But Superman has always gotten this ridiculously stupid bad rap by people. I don't want to say who don't understand Superman. They understand comics. There's a lot of people who just like Batman more. All right. They like the edgy, dark stuff. And, Superman, yeah, he's a Boy Scout. He's a bit of a Boy Scout. He's also inspirational, a hero. And I think Watchmen, as great as it was, and it's not Watchmen's fault, but it damaged comics in the long run because things just got too postmodern, too dark. And, we heroes fighting heroes all the time, and then everybody getting hooked on drugs. Like, once in a while, it was good. It was good when it was new in the 70s, but we're still doing that now. It's like, no, it's time to reconstruct. Deconstructing is one thing, but sometimes you can take something apart completely, and that's what's happened. Hang on, I'm gonna have to turn this off. This is I'm part of a group conversation that's getting very loud here, so sorry about that, folks. I try to keep it on so I can hear from Mrs. Nerdrotic, who is at work practicing her safe distances. Yeah, I want to make a little statement, because I Twitter. Fucking Twitter. So I posted something. Elon Musk is somebody I admire a lot. Okay, I don't admire a lot of rich people and famous people. I really don't. But I admire his business acumen. I admire the fact that he doesn't have a filter. I don't always agree with every single thing he says, but I like the fact that he doesn't give a fuck. I admire the hell out of people who don't give a fuck. So he just did a Joe Rogan live stream. I spent the morning watching it. It's great. I highly recommend it. A lot of common sense in this live stream, and I know that bugs somebody. So he said, he was asked point blank by Joe Rogan about some of his statements earlier, and he said, we need to start worrying about our civil rights. That's all. We need to start worrying about our civil rights. And he feels that I'm paraphrasing that we gave him up too quickly. And I completely agree. That doesn't mean start licking your fellow man. It doesn't mean do not practice social distancing. Please do. It doesn't mean this thing isn't real. It absolutely is. It doesn't mean it's not dangerous for some people, and it absolutely is. And it doesn't mean that this lockdown was useless. I'd hate to think it was, and I don't think it was. I think it served a purpose, and I think it maybe saved a lot of people, and it's not going to save everyone, and it never was meant to. But I won't be shamed into asking questions. I won't be shamed into wanting to get the economy back going and getting my wife back to work so we can feed our kids. That's all. Now, it doesn't mean be unsafe. It doesn't mean everything's going to go back to normal. Probably isn't. But I totally agree with that. So watch it. Watch it with context, and you see, you get some common. I don't agree with everything, but I definitely think we need more common sense. The one thing that was said, no matter what side you are in the argument, it's totally been politicized, and they brought up the fact that we don't know where to get good information anymore, and you just have to try harder. And that's the biggest problem we're facing right now. And that's not any one person's fault out there. That's our institutions who have failed us completely. So I'm sorry about that. And they've gotten a lot of people scared. A lot of people are just scared. And I'm not going to shame anybody for being scared. If you're scared, you're scared. That's okay. It's okay to be scared. But I try not to let, I'll use I statements. I try not to let fear control my life. It's something that it has to be conquered, and there's a lot of fear porn going on out there, unfortunately, and it sucks. What I do is I don't watch the mainstream media. It's too partisan on either side. We got one on one side, and we got the rest on the other, and I don't think we're getting. I think you have to do your homework. I think you have to do way too much work to find the truth, and it's sad. And they brought it up again. They brought up what everybody's brought up. Why can't we just have a place that just tells us what's up? I know we can't. It's Pollyanna to think about that. It really is. But yeah. So somebody tweeted back at me that, well, isn't Elon, is that the same Elon who cheated with Amber Turd? And maybe I looked, I mean, I don't know anything about that. I think Amber Heard is a foul person for what she did to Johnny Depp, and I hope she goes to jail for if she is indeed guilty of falsifying evidence and abusing Johnny Depp. I hope she goes to jail just like a dude would go to jail. Don't like her at all. But I don't know what that has to do with Elon's. Even if he did cheat with her, I that kind of stuff, none of my business. I don't talk about it on the channel. That's why, I'll talk about Amber Heard on a live stream. I won't make a video about that stuff because I'm not into that. I'm into the big picture stuff. And it doesn't bother me at all because rich people and actors, they all cheat. Johnny Depp, I could probably say with 100% certainty that Johnny Depp has slept with somebody who was in a relationship. And it doesn't change my opinion of him whatsoever. I love him as an actor, and I hope he plays Jack Sparrow again. And I hate the fact that he got canceled. I don't care if people cheat. I'm not gonna sit here and be a Puritan if people are cheating on each other. That's what the SJWs do, not what I do. I don't care. They're adults. They're consenting adults. They're gonna do what they want. It's got nothing to do with what we're talking about. It's okay if you're into that. I'm not into the TMZ thing. I'm really not. And it does. And listen, because I admire Elon Musk doesn't mean I'm okay with Amber Heard. I don't know how anybody puts two and two together. That is a stretch. Crazy Cat Guy, hail Gary and panel. Non-nerd wife and I are enjoying the show. Ricada Law was a great add to the panel. He's great. He's great. A good YouTuber, when you have no idea what they're talking about, but you watch them for 3 hours anyway. When it comes to the Weeb Wars stuff and the Vic Mignogna stuff, now I learned through watching Nick. Nick also talked about the Anas Abdeen stuff, so I really appreciate that. He seems like a really just common sense, good guy. And I would definitely have him on again. Please subscribe to his channel. I thank him again for coming on. He's a class act. He is. Check out Harley Quinn Animation Season 2, Episode 5. Has Fandom Menace characters. One with The Last Jedi is not canon shirt, and they talk about virtue signaling. I did see that, Rod Mutton, for Australian $5. And while they made the Fandom Menace person the one who was more common sense, I think I wasn't happy with how they portrayed the Snyder Cut guy. I didn't, because I think they got it mixed up. I think it was written by people who don't really understand what's going on online. While I appreciate the Fandom Menace being portrayed as somewhat the common sense, because we are, Snyder Cut, people just want the Snyder Cut. I don't know. I don't understand the hate for anybody who wants the Snyder Cut. I think that's just a lot of made up tomfoolery, hullabaloo. I think the rage towards people who want the Snyder Cut, I question the authenticity of it. We'll just say that. Crazy Cat Guy for $5. Thank you again. Nick is secretly Joseph Joester. His stand is Drexel. Change my mind. I have no idea what that is either. Phoenix Arum, but thank you for the 20 Canadian dollars. Now I got to look that up too. I got to give it its due diligence. Sorry, folks. So what's happening is we might be getting some Ricada lore on here, which I'm not completely aware of. And there you go. Joseph Joester is a protagonist of Part 2 and an ally in Part 3 and 4. He is the second JoJo of the JoJo's Bizarre Adventure series. There you go. Learn something every day. It's anime. So hail. Thank you. You learn something every day. Lancelot652, this podcast has way too many boomers. I thought this was a pop culture podcast, not a retirement home. I'm not a boomer, for one. I'm a Gen Xer, Lancelot652, but thanks. All I can say is it's great to be young. May you live as long as I have. Ryan Cannell, RK Outpost, $2. All the polar bear videos. Oh, that was we were talking about Jarbo deleted 30 million views off his channel, off his main channel. You know what? Here's the thing with Jarbo. I don't really like talking about other YouTubers. He's talked shit about me. I've thrown a little shade at him back. Honestly, it would be great to see him like really come clean and show some honesty and some integrity and then make a real comeback. Because, a lot of people are probably never going to forgive him. But it was his act afterwards. I mean, we've seen people come back before. And all he had to do, and we said it last night, all he had to do was come clean, be honest, rebuild, and he would have probably had a pretty big following by now. He did it before. Doesn't mean you can't do it again. But here's the deal. Authenticity. People can sniff it out. See, people who watch YouTube videos are not dumb. They're not dumb. They're actually, I believe, and I tend to think they're the more curious. I think common sense tends to gravitate because they sniffed out the bullshit from the access media and the mainstream media a long time ago, and they still wanted a place to go, and they found it. And funny thing, it was a place that didn't gatekeep. Now, I can't say that much anymore, but Kanji Owa for $20. Imagine working your ass off for 7 years only for some simp to single-handedly destroy the company you work at because he saw some feminist YouTube video. Right? There's a lot of people who used to work at Naughty Dog who are probably thinking that very thing. KNG. King. I'll just say King Owa. It's probably King Owa. Scottish Nerd for £2. Hi, Ryan. Courtship of Princess Leia. Thoughts? What's the courtship of Princess Leia? Is it a book? Is it a YouTube video? It's a book. It's an EU book. Courtship of Princess Leia it's a 1994 best-selling Star Wars book by Dave Wolverton. Wow. Well, 94. Okay, I recognize the cover. I can't say I've ever heard the name, though. I definitely recognize the cover, though. Man, the covers were so good. That was Dave Dorman, right? Dave Dorman did that? I'm checking right now. I'm pretty sure that was Dave Dorman. It looks like Dave Dorman. I love Dave Dorman. It's so freaking good. Love that guy's art. But no, I didn't. I read Heir to the Empire. I read a lot of the Dark Horse comics. I haven't read the new Star Wars ones yet. I read a lot of the old. As a matter of fact, that's the last Star Wars thing I had. I completely forgot I had them. So I thought the last thing I owned Star Wars. You can kind of see it here. I'll move the camera. See that little strip of curtains right there? Those are vintage Star Wars curtains. I thought that was the last Star Wars thing I owned. Well, But I have a complete run of the Marvel Star Wars books. I was going through my comics, and I thought I left them at the shop, but I have them. So I read them all. It's like awesome. I have them with my Indiana Jones. I also own, it was a gift when George Lucas they had the AFI celebration of George Lucas. They gave away a gift bag, and in that gift bag was a complete set of DVDs in a special box. I have that. And that's all the Star Wars stuff I own. And Odin was kind enough to send me oh god, I forgot it's the theatrical cut of the Star Wars, the original trilogy. Do you think the entertainment industry can afford to make bad woke material after this pandemic, considering how much money they are losing now? Sir Ruin of House Roundhead. That's a very good question for $5. No, they can't. That's been the theme of pretty much every one of my videos for the last 2 weeks. And granted, I only come out with a couple videos a week, but that's been the theme. It's over, Johnny. It's over. I'm actually going to put that soundbite in my next video. It's over, Johnny. It is effing over. Now, they're still going to make stuff. We're still going to see it probably for the next 2 years. I don't expect Marvel to change their comics immediately because they have a bunch they've already produced. Some they've already printed. But, as I said in my last video, cancel the New Warriors. Make it digital only. Don't saddle the shops with that shit. Because if Marvel releases that, then we know nothing's going to change. If they keep it out of the shops, and you know what? I don't feel bad for Daniel Kibblesmith. F Daniel Kibblesmith for writing that. The dude's written a couple comic books, and he probably bought his way into the industry. I highly doubt he paid his dues. Look, Marvel, all about inclusivity and diversity, and let a rich white dude come in and throw a middle finger up at the fan. No, frack him. And no, I hope he loses his money. He's fine. No, that book, I take that book personally, and you should too. For any retailer out there, Dan Shaheen, to think that's a bad idea. You know what? If it was a troll, it would be genius. I would be promoting it. If it was a troll, if they were brave enough to make fun of all this stuff instead of flipping a middle finger at the fans, I'd support it. Absolutely. And you know what? If somebody wants a no-brainer, slam dunk, crowdfunding book, do a parody of that. Do a full-on Marvel parody. And what you can do is, you know what? Flip the script on Rich Johnston. Remember when he wrote that article where he was insinuating he was talking about the New Warriors and Snowflake and Safe Space, but it was the giant-size X-Men? And he said, look, it's the same as... He was trying to compare the New Warriors to giant-size X-Men. I would make a parody of giant-size X-Men, and I would put in all the names I came up with and Cecil came up with after that book came out with Power Bottom and Safe Space. Or not Safe Space, but you know what I mean. You just use all those names. The Professor Patriarchal or Professor Patriarch, shit like that. The Right Winger, all that, and just straight up make a parody, crowdfund that thing. You'll make six figures. You will if you have a good artist and good writer. For me, it's very hard not to think negatively of female-led characters in present and future gaming because of the stigma the current agenda has done. G-Virus 000 for $10. That is the problem, and that's the thing that has been brought up the most from the women I have heard from on this channel, and this was being brought up prior to my entering the culture war. There were people, even when we were neutral, there was people really concerned with, this is going to set things back. This is going to set things back. So there was a lot of people against it. They weren't really voicing their opinions out loud. But, in a live stream chat that went a couple hours, I'd hear a lot, especially when Maya were much more intimate. I'd hear that, yeah, we're worried this is going to set things back. And And that's exactly what's happening. Now people just roll their eyes when they hear female lead. That's not progress. And that's what, God, I'm forgetting her name, from John Campea. That's what she said. Now, when you announce female lead, you're doing it as an FU. But now the FU is on you because people roll their eyes and cringe and you're going to lose money instead of just coming out with something with a good female lead. This week and last week, I did not get notifications on Friday Night Tights. I have a bell icon on as well, he says too. Stargate 404, yeah, it's I'm lucky if a third of my subs are getting the notifications for Friday Night Tights. And the only thing that's helping it right now is you guys. You guys are sharing the hell out of it. And it says Friday in the title. And people know when it is. And honestly, it's been pretty consistent. I've tried very hard to start close to on time. And once I saw something changed. I don't know what it was. It was right when Eric July came on. When Eric July came on, I feel like we all upped our game a little bit. And it's just turned into a better show. And that's good as long as it's always improving. And it's a good show because of you. Period. End of story. The chat has been ridiculously good the last 6 weeks. Some of the best stuff I've ever seen. Yeah, there's trolls. Who cares? That's part of life. The mods have been better. Everybody's been better. So I think we all just, like, during the stupid lockdown, we're like, hey, let's ramp this up a little bit. Let's see where we can go. And it's been great. And the guests have been great. We've always had great guests. Okay. Uche's come on. Again, we're going to bring Eric back very soon. I would love to talk to him about what's going on. I want to talk to Eric when most of the country is back to work. I think it's time to kind of have a Friday Night Tights about that and see where people are without judging. That's the thing I was referring to earlier. It's like, you know what Elon said in the Joe Rogan podcast is absolutely true. There's a big difference between being asked to do something and being told to do something. And I don't mind being asked to. I will generally comply. If somebody asks me, says, hey, shelter in place for the safety of others, sure. You will not, I won't, I'll practice my social distancing. I will make sure I don't carry this around to somebody who, I'm not visiting my mom's right now. I'm not going to get my kids near my mom's right now. And hopefully everybody's safe. That being said, we're seeing people shame people who want to go to work, and it's being politicized, and I don't like that either. I'm seeing people getting arrested on a beach. That's wrong. That's flat out wrong. Wrong. Ask them to leave. Ask them to leave. Arresting protesters, wrong. Anytime. If the protesters aren't burning shit down and they're not throwing bricks at somebody or hitting people in the head, they need to be left alone. That's America. Does it mean everything is perfect? Of course not. Of course not. But Elon mentioned the right to choose. Like, hey, I'll if you want to choose to stay home, even when things are open up, by all means, do it. I mean, like, whatever you feel is safe as an individual, whatever you feel is safe, you do it. I'm not going to judge you. Guy Eric July was roasting. What's his name again? What's the owner of the Dallas Mavericks? That guy did something uber creepy. I'm forgetting everybody. You know what? I'm tired from yesterday. Mark Cuban. So Mark Cuban, and maybe this was good intentions. I don't know. I read the article, and because Eric July sniped at him. I read the article, and I came to the same conclusion as Eric July did, that a billionaire snitched on a bunch of small businesses. Now, I don't know where he wanted to see if people, maybe he wanted to do like he wanted to do a study if people were actually practicing safe distances and complying with the guidelines, not rules, guidelines. And he didn't name names, but he came out with an article that he financed secret shoppers and stuff to go spy on people. And they came back with 96% of the people weren't following these guidelines. Well, they're guidelines, they're not rules. That's part of the problem. Is there's so much confusion out there. That's part of the problem. And Mark Cuban is spending his we got a billionaire snitch basically. We don't need that. That I see that stuff. That's when things are starting to get frightening. When we got billionaires working with the state to make sure us plebs comply. But it's for our safety. Finally got monetized this week. That's good. I just want to say thank you to the first person who ever subbed to Orville Nation. Thank you, Gary. Many, many blessings to you, my friend. It's my honor. I love the Orville Nation. It is a great channel. It's done a lot of great work. JP, please continue it. Love you, man. It was great meeting you in New York. And congratulations on monetization. So go sub to the Orville Nation, especially if you're an Orville fan. That is a good channel. J.J. Abrams deleted his message for £5. I think that was on purpose. Jerry J says, thumbs up for $3. Thank you very much, Jerry J. Hello, Gary and panel. Thank you for another entertaining Friday evening. Just wanted to ask Gary if he knew Andy Serkis had a charity event today. I did not. He read the whole Hobbit live online. It was quite enjoyable. Take care. If it's still recorded, Matthew Casella, sorry, for $20, I will definitely go check that out. That is brilliant. Yeah, I had no idea, or I would have watched. The Memes of Destruction for $5. OG April O'Neil, Judith Hogue is hosting virtual pizza party May 23rd on World Turtle Day. #Turtle Power. Hell yeah. That's great. May 23rd, April O'Neil, Judith Hogue is hosting a virtual pizza party on May 23rd. That's cool as hell. Rand Murray 82 for $10. Disney Plus premieres will become the old direct-to-video films. Headland's Star Wars will be like Return of Jafar. Yes, and that's, God, I hope, but that's kind of what I envision Disney Plus to be. It's going to be like just, it's going to be their sitcoms. Their sitcoms. We'll probably get some decent animated shows. I don't know. I can't stand their animated Marvel shows. Avengers Earth's Mightiest Heroes was freaking great, and they canceled it. The Spectacular Spider-Man was great, and they canceled it. Benjamin Flensborg, High Council has convened. The High Council has convened. Well, there's still a High Council. It's on Tuesday nights. Jeff is still doing it. He's with Tom and Mecca, and they bring in an extra guest once in a while. G-Virus 00 for $2. Have Peter Jackson do Superman. Fuck yeah. Hell yeah. Jordan Peele to direct Superman. Hell no. Battle Hymn 63. Hell no. Now, if it's got to be identity politics, Ryan Coogler could direct Spider-Man. I'm totally fine with that. He was more than a competent director with the Black Panther. Kind of an overrated movie, but he directed, a competent superhero movie. Jordan Peele would fill it with garbage. No thanks. Rob Slevin for $2. Abrams Superman, Krypton destroyed by lens flare. That's probably true. Nerd fight, says Crazy Cat Guy. I don't remember any fighting. Aiken for $5.99. Natalie Portman chooses who directs Superman. You know what? That's probably true. For $5.99 Australian. Michael Bay to direct Superman. Adam Wolford, I would take that in a hot minute. I would take him over Jar Jar Abrams. Absolutely. I think Michael Bay could direct a good Superman. Change my mind. I also think James Cameron would be a good choice. He would, but he'd never do it. and it would take them 10 years. G Virus 00 for $2. Yes. Hire anyone fired by Kathleen Kennedy, says Carrie Hedinger for $1.99. Yes. And this was when we were talking about Superman. Also, Robert Rodriguez, because he did Alita Battle Angel, and he did a great job. And yeah, I would take Robert Rodriguez because he can, he's got a style, but he can acclimate his style to the property he's doing. Like Quentin Tarantino is going to make a Quentin Tarantino film no matter what. Robert Rodriguez can make a superhero film. Absolutely. The Flash for $10. £10. DC movies fail for the same reason DC movies fail the same reason computer games movies fail. Not made for the core fans. The people are there to watch them, but they don't stay true to the law. Yeah, and it's occasionally we get a good computer games movie. We get Spider-Man 2, right? No, Amazing Spider-Man. That was a good one. And Spider-Man 2 was pretty good too. Sometimes you get good movie games, but not all, most of the time they suck. I would have Andrew Stanton direct Superman with Brad Bird writing the script. George Forrest Jr. for $4.99. I wouldn't be against that. There was a time I would have Brad Bird direct Superman, but his live action directing isn't so great. Nicholas Horton for £5. The episode titles for The Mandalorian Season 2 supposedly leaked online. I wish I could be super interested about that, but I just can't. Trekker T, thank you, Nicholas Horton. I'll probably check it out, but it'll probably be stuff like The Child and The Grift and The Woman, and stuff like that. Trekker T for $10. Hail, Gary. Hail, the Phantom Menace. Just here to show some support. Hail, Trekker T. Thank you for the Canadian $10. I appreciate it. I'm way behind. Just saw your jazz hands appreciation for Xbox graceful ascent of the backlash. You all rock. Acceptance of the backlash. Thank you, DN, for $2. I don't remember them having graceful acceptance. G Virus 00 for $5. If the agenda is about representation, inclusion, and diversity, why is it they always show it in the worst possible way? Because it really isn't about that. It's a good question, and we know the answer. Is anything going to change, though? Remember Omar from The Wire. Remember. Sam Goods Pastor, thank you for $2. Hail, everyone. Heads up. DC is making a Dick Grayson YA graphic novel. I saw it briefly on their Instagram, but I couldn't find it after. Insert name here. Let's take a look. One moment. YA. I don't see anything. Maybe they put it up accidentally or something. I don't know. Yeah, I can't find it either. Darth Gary for $1.99. Thanks for your guys' work. Take down Naughty Dog. We'll try. I mean, I would like them to take the strikes down. I don't think we're going to take... Naughty Dog took themselves down. YouTubers just YouTubed. I mean, seriously. You come and you go at this giant billion-dollar corporation, because Naughty Dog's just a subsidiary of Sony, comes and kicks small businesses, basically, independent content creators, for voicing opinions that would have been, quite frankly, would have gone down the memory hole in a week. You just made it worse. Now the conversation's going to go all the way till the release of the game. It might die down a little bit but if they keep taking things down, it won't. G Virus 00 for $10 more. Hail, sir. What are your thoughts on the woke making John Constantine their new poster ma'am because he's King Shark's ex in the new Justice League Dark Apocalypse War animated movie? That's exactly why the DC animated universe isn't that great anymore. So to the youngster who piped in earlier with the super chat, which I appreciate, are you going to back that? Is that still superior than the DCEU? Because the one thing the DCEU isn't is woke. What are my thoughts on it? Not watching it, not buying it. I know Constantine is bi, and I know they would overplay it and make it. Basically, you're making people dislike a pretty much universally loved character. 487 Sean Tower for 20 Canadian dollars. Name me one major leading straight white man to come out of the last 5 years. By the way, Netflix is woke as hell, and gender swapping and alphabet community network not meant for the rest of us. And that is the unfortunate byproduct of going too woke and not being truly inclusive, because you start making people feel like they're being excluded. Whether you meant to do it or not, that's what's happening. Netflix is definitely woke, but there's still things there I support. As far as the alphabet community being played to a little bit too much, being played a little bit too much, and being politicized, most definitely. I have nothing personally against the community, and they, but as far as, 10% of the population being, pandered to 100% of the time, yeah. Henry Cavill, The Witcher, but you can't think Stephen Strait in The Expanse. So, I mean, there's still white male leads out there, but what's going on is it's masculinity. It's not about white male leads. It's about male leads. Okay. It's about male leads, and we're seeing these wafy little boys, and you're not seeing men. The only time you're seeing men is when Dolores is beating the shit out of them in Westworld. How about Brad Bird for a Superman movie? Says Noble Prince, Pat 97 with an exclamation point for $2. There was a time I would have backed that, but maybe he'd still be good. He did a great job with The Incredibles. G-Virus00 for $5. Wouldn't Anita be the apex of all ists, isms, and phobes? Because she once said that everything is sexist and racist and have to point it all out. Yes, she did. And she is, I don't know why she's only relevant again because we're at the end game. And Neil brought her up. Robert Levito, thank you for the $5. I appreciate it. Forgive me, in my youth, I bought a Femme Thor comic. Lucian, it's okay. We didn't know what it was going to be. It was kind of like enjoying Star Trek 2009. We didn't know what the end game was going to be. I'm sorry I ever gave that movie money, and it's okay. It's okay. Jason Aaron was on a Thor book. People were going to buy it. Message retracted or deleted by Observer Dude for £5. Sorry, I don't know if that was YouTube or not. Jace22786 for $9.99. Just my opinion. Would love your guys' opinion. Too bad the only thing that bothered me most is in Man of Steel is how they made Lois discover Clark's identity so easily in one movie. I think that's the least of the problems. It was a little much. It was just too dark. The movie was just too dark. It was too grim. It was too gray. I didn't like the color palette, the mood of it. It wasn't inspirational at all. You're not supposed to walk out of a Superman movie going, ugh. Henry Cavill did a great job. It should have been a little lighter. That's all. I think that's all people wanted. It was just way too grim. Philip A. Dimmick for $5. Best quote of 2019. There are 3 heroes in my life: Bruce, Stan, and Jim. And they are all Lee. I like that. That's a good one. Jace22786 for $4.99. When it comes to Batman and Superman, their identity and people trying to find out who they are adds to the thrill of the story. Yes. Here's the trade-off with that. And this is why they don't necessarily, particularly Batman, work very well in movies. You might go, Gary, you're crazy. No, Batman and Superman are serialized storytelling. So in the movies, they want to rush everything, and they have to rush the reveal of the identity so they can have the actor without his mask on as much as possible. That shit needs to end. I don't watch Spider-Man to see Tom Holland's face. I actually watch Spider-Man to see that mask. Pooh Zerker for $10. I apologize for asking this, but have you looked at older mangas? Mangas, God, I'm an idiot. Have you looked at older manga? I know you get asked this constantly. I do. Classic comics seem to be better because they are unabashed style and straightforward plots. Yeah, Pooh Zerker, I get asked about manga and Warhammer constantly. And if there were more hours in the day, I would definitely check them out, and I will in the future, but a lot of, I work 9-10 hours a day. I work 9-10 hours a day. And I love my job, but it doesn't allow for all the free time in the world, and I'm behind on watching Blake 7 and a bunch of other stuff, but even days I don't put out videos, I'm working 9 to 10 hours a day. And I have to right now. Now, I'll have a little more time once Melissa goes back to work, but my wife's salon is forced closed right now still. She's there. She can do like a curbside thing and pass out color, but she's a hairdresser. And the thing is, she's trained in health and safety, by the way. People forget that. In the state of California, you have to have a license to do hair. Culture Casino for $1.49 sends a phallic unicorn. Thank you very much. G Virus 00 for $5. When Marvel Comics finally crumbles, what will happen to the characters? They will remain at Disney, and they will be towels, they will be sheets, they will be underwear, they will be coffee cups. That's what they exist for. They will be what Mickey Mouse is now. Nicholas Horton for £5. The MCU will definitely replace Peter Parker with Spider-Gwen or Spider-Girl. I don't know if it'll make it that far. It's got to be successful to do that. It will be for the next couple of years, so maybe. Hello, gents. How are the new Horsemen of the Apocalypse doing? Do you see they keep removing downvotes from the Xbox vid? Greetings from Denmark. Keep up the fight. We need it. For 100 Danish krona. And that's Jens Jurgensen. I didn't even check I'm not an Xbox guy. I know Az did a video. I wouldn't be surprised if they removed the downvotes and the comments. I know Neeler's message is downvoted to hell. Downvoted to hell. Brian Dye for $10. Peter, how do you suggest we get our local comic shops to carry Alterna? I requested it, but it did not seem to get much movement. Is there anything else we can do? Brian, you can go to the comic shop and say, if you carry Alterna, I'll buy it. And then they'll carry it. That's what you do. You go, I'll just tell them titles you want to buy, and they'll order it for you. There's nothing I wouldn't order for my customers. I didn't put everything on the shelf, but if a customer came in and said, I want this book, I would order it for them because I want to make money. Pooh Zerker, is crowdfunding the only way for comic artists to make money? I'm a pirate who prefers manga. How do business models overcome piracy? Serious question. They don't. They don't. So, I'm not judging Pooh Zerker, but when you pirate something that you love, you're killing it a little. And that's the truth. Now, again, everybody does it. Once in a while is fine. Again, I'm not judging, but I think there's a lot of good to piracy too, because I think it leads people to buy stuff. So it absolutely needs to exist. I think it's a vital part. Piracy is actually a vital part of retailer because I think it can be used as a sales tool. Sure. Was it music to my ears when somebody came in and told me they didn't buy a comic from me because they pirated it? No. Hell no. And my answer remains the same. People pirate. I don't expect it to change. I'm not going to judge you, but that doesn't change the fact that you're killing what you love. That's the truth. There's not I'm going to repeat what Elon said in the Joe Rogan live stream today. There's not this magic pot of making shit, okay? It costs money to make stuff. It requires infrastructure to make stuff. It requires people working to make stuff. But most importantly, it requires money to make all this shit go. Again, there's not some magic pot out there that just produces shit that everybody loves that they can magically just have for free. So, if you want that thing you love to exist, once in a while, throw it a bone. That's all I'm saying. Once in a while, throw it a bone. If there's something you really love, go buy. I'm looking down there. Go buy. Here. Berserk. Now, if you're out of work for a little while and you want to keep up with something, like I'm not going to judge. But if you're working and you're making money and you got a couple bucks, buy a comic book once in a while. That's all. I think that's reasonable. I think it's reasonable, right? Right, guys in chat? I think it's reasonable. I like your honesty though, Poozerker, and that's cool. But there's no business model that can overcome piracy unless it's just really fracking good. I mean, if you're really freaking good and popular like Game of Thrones, you can overcome piracy. So much so they bragged about it. So, it's complicated though, because a lot of people want to keep reading and they can't afford it. So again, I'm not judging that. John Zeller for $10. Hey, Gary, got my first order from Alterna Comics yesterday. Tell Pete and the other guys that it's awesome stuff. Putting together now for my second order right now. Nice. Yeah, it's cheap and it's good. Sandman says, Run Runner for 10 Canadian dollars. Hi, all. Love you guys. I really appreciate you fighting through all the crap you guys have to put up with. You guys keep me sane. Stay safe, and you keep me sane. I'll keep saying that. You guys keep me sane. Dolified for $5. Keep up the good work, Peter. Don't worry about the two trolls. Yeah, we don't worry about the trolls. We don't. We know one of them is Captain Cummings, man. I don't know what's going on with him. I hope he gets the help he needs. Poozerker for $20. From 30-plus-year-old, I never bought comic books, but I'm entertained by Gary and Jeremy's impartial ripping. If Gary does something dumb, Jeremy will rip him and vice versa. P.S. I bookmark at heel versus babyface on Twitter. Good. Follow him. I do something dumb all the time, so that's fine. Sinister Voices. Picked up Blood Realm 1 through 3 and Eden 1 through 4. Thanks for creating material. Lore greater than bore. Full stop. Oh, I love, yes, absolutely. Blood Realm looks good on Alterna. I will most definitely be getting that. Nick Weiser, I may have missed, but any thoughts on select Marvel titles? Hawkeye Freefall going digital only while New Warriors stays physical. I don't know if that's been verified yet. I don't know if that, I did see the list for digital only, but I don't think it's been verified that New Warriors might have to go physical because they printed it. But I did see that. Hang on, let me go to Bleeding Cool and I didn't see any mention of New Warriors at all. As far as digital first or digital only, I mean, that's a good sign. They don't want to saddle comic shops. Rich Johnston's going to be on a panel. Yeah, so my thoughts, I gave my thoughts earlier. If New Warriors goes physical, then that tells us everything we need to know. Marvel's not going to change at all. Did you see Jim Starlin's Dreadstar on Kickstarter? I just need Chuck Dixon and Alien Legion to make a return. It might. You never know. It depends on if he owns the rights or not, Todd Pullitz. But yes, I did, and that's awesome for $5. Problem is, it's on Kickstarter. The people of the comic book world and people of movies seem to be in a different dimension where the truth is what they think it is, where the truth is what they think it is. Yes, they don't see the world for what it is. They see it for what they think it should be because they're right. Mike Hunt finally made it. Pat Mawani says hello. Pat Mawini says hello. I was like, Mawani? Pat Mawini. Yes, Hugh Janus is here too, Mike Hunt. So Pat Mawini says hello. And so does Phil McCracken. Phil McCracken says hello as well. Ryan Champ. Hail, Gary. Hail, panel. Pete, did you make anything from Tubi? Or Tubi? I don't know. Well, I'll have to ask him. Ryan Champ, thank you for the $4.99. Stargate 404 for $5. The issue with going to other platforms, PayPal and banks cut people off based on ideology. They capped BitChute in the knee. Can only pay in crypto now. Yep. So there's nowhere safe, in other words, unless you're going to send cash. No news on Seth Trek the Orville. So news on Seth Trek the Orville says Torben Weborg for 20 Danish krona. There is no news yet other than the Orville's probably going to be delayed, like everything else. Divine Raija for $5. Yes, SJWs love colonialism. They want to change everything that comes from Japan, from anime to video games. Talk about hypocritical. Exactly. And that's all they are, is hypocritical. Toxic Man Flu. We are seeing the entertainment industry go through a metamorphosis right now. More crowdfunding, more independent content, and less money for the big corporations. Yes, I did see this super chat just to hear Gary read it. Yes, I did this super chat just to hear Gary read it. Toxic Man Flu. I'll read it again. We are seeing the entertainment industry go through a metamorphosis right now. More crowdfunding, more independent content, and less money for the big corporations. Yes, I did this super chat just to hear Gary read it. So I read it twice. Thank you for the $20. And yes, we are. And I called it a couple of years ago because it's the same thing, relatively speaking, as what the music industry went through when it got too corporate. It started branching out into some great independent music came out of it. And the trends go in cycles. And we're also seeing the end of the theatrical release. We're seeing the beginning of the end. It's not over yet. It still needs some time. Digital doesn't make enough, Disney Plus and Netflix. Netflix makes enough money, but they're always kind of operating in the red as well. And they rely on investment money. There isn't enough money in it to continue making blockbusters. That's going to be the problem down the road. And that's why they're going to go for more serialized storytelling, which I'm for. I don't need to see the big spectacle battle. Honestly, in Endgame, the big spectacle battle wasn't very good. It was nice, but it was dark and it looked brown and I'm rereading Game of Thrones, hopefully anticipating when's a winter release this year. Do you think George changed some of the writing because of the woke culture change? What do you think of the last two books? What do you think the last two books will be like? Macho Madness for $20. That is a very good question. I actually did a video on that. If you go look through my list here. Let me not mess up this window. I'll tell you what video it was. GRM. It was the Game of Thrones it's Game of Thrones GRRM calls out fans while not writing the Winds of Winter. Go watch that video. And I talk all about that. My theory in short is yes. Part of the delay was because of the sad puppy incident in science fiction books. And it sent George reeling. And this is, again, nobody ever brings up the politics. Except for YouTube. That's why You want to know a secret about YouTube? We talk about shit nobody else will. That's why we grow. End of story. So, I digress. George R. R. Martin was part of the Sad Puppies thing. And right around that time, remember all the articles that came out that he thought up of this twist? He's all, oh, I have a big twist. I think that twist has everything to do with identity politics. So I think he had to rewrite his whole damn book, to be honest with you. There's no way it took 10 years. There's no way. And he's been writing supposedly for like a month straight now. He should be freaking done. I mean, we're talking about half a page a day. That's all he had to write was half a page a day. I don't think we'll get it this year. I don't. I hope so, but I don't think so. Because if he finishes it today, it's going to take 3 months to go through the editing. No, 6 to go through the editing process and come out. I'm wondering if we're going to get the Last Expanse book. Well, you want to talk about writing themselves in a corner, man. Jane Theory sends, thank you. Jane Theory sends a little sticker. Right back at you, Jane, with some applause. Buck for $5. I just wanted to say thanks for the excellent show, everyone. Thank you, Buck. I appreciate it. Crazy Cat Guy for $2. Have you seen Tolkien worth watching? I did not watch Tolkien because the Tolkien estate hated it. But I probably eventually will watch it. So I haven't seen it yet, Crazy Cat Guy. I do have some news for you guys. I'm going to read the last super chat, and then I have some news about the Lord of the Rings TV show that only you guys are going to hear. I wonder if how many people are actually going to wait till the end of the super chat square up, and then you'll hear this news. Crazy Cat Guy for $5. Coin for the Bourbon Fund. Good sir. Slaint, I don't know what that is. Raises glass of Jefferson's Reserve. Well, right back at you. I'm going to raise my cup of cold Pete's coffee. So good. Now, bear with me. I'm going to go all the way to the front and kind of scan through, and I'll try to vamp while I'm doing this, and my vamping will be the news. All right. You guys want to hear the news? For one, I'm probably going to hire a producer for Friday Night Tights. I'm going to talk to this person tomorrow. This will be somebody who just works on the Friday Night Tights live stream and the eventual live stream I'm going to do with Jeremy on Geeks and Gamers. Yeah, we're going to have to work that out because I'm so overcommitted with live streams. But I need to get the nooner back to on time again as well. I'm really pissed I missed one last week. So, the news. Tom Shippey is still on the Lord of the Rings TV series. Tom Shippey is still on the Lord of the Rings TV series. And we can all rejoice that Tom Shippey is still on the motherfucking Lord of the Rings series. So we can hope. China number 4. I don't think I missed one. I did it really slow and methodical. Alex Collector, as you dressed up as Super Ted. No, I read that one. Maddox lost. Yeah, I think we're good. I mean, I scan them again, and I'll read it off on my next one, but I really don't think I missed one here. But if you feel like I did, man, you shoot me an email or shoot Mrs. Nerdrotic a DM. Please follow me on Instagram, instagram.com/nerdrotic, where we have Swag Sunday. Now, things you got to keep in mind. We got to be able to message you, so make sure your messaging is open. And because sometimes when it's set to private, we can't message you. That's been a problem in the past. It's not your fault. It's the system and Instagram. So give us a follow on Instagram. And thank you again for everyone who joined us on Friday Night Tights. Now, we're going to do something fun here just for a second. We're going to go live on I'm going to read some of your you guys, Dario, we're going to go public right now. Fuck it. Let's go public. So stay here. I'm going to edit this. All right. And we'll do the last few minutes public, okay? So we public now. But let me read Grant. What is up? Yes, everybody's excited because Tom Shippey is still on Lord of the Rings. And I'm very happy about that. Supergirl canceled. Henry Cavill might be coming back for Superman. I'm very happy about that. Sam fucking Raimi is going to be directing a Doctor Strange movie. I'm very happy about that. There are some good things happening. There are. What's up, Matthew Matson and Echo Watt and Hologram Numchuck and Father Christopher Miller? Yes, so I just recorded the Super Chat Square Up, and we are now public on Nerdrotic Live. And I'm just kind of dicking around for a minute. Tomorrow's Mother's Day. I'm going to get Mrs. Nerdrotic some flowers, probably give her a massage or something. That was probably too much information, but what fuck, I don't care. We're all friends here. What's up, Sclavo Era Prime? Hello, people, and Sir Ransom, and Grant again, and Noid 500 Sid. I, again, just finished recording the Super Chat Square Up from last night. It was a long one. And talked about a salty tweet. What other controversial subjects did we cover? Oh, piracy. Some people might not like my thoughts on piracy. I'll repeat them here really quick. You can never make it go away. It's part of the business. It's great. But if you, I was asked the question, is crowdfunding the only way to help some independent books because I pirate everything I read on manga? And I'm like, well, it's okay to do that. Like, listen, if you're out of work and you still want to read it and keep it up, that's okay. I think piracy can actually work as a sales tool as well. That being said, you're kind of helping kill the thing you love. So don't do it all the time. Once in a while, who cares? Everybody does it. I mean, I don't do it anymore, but I've done it. Oh my God, have I done it? Yes. But I don't do it anymore because I have a job. Now, if you're out of work and you want to keep reading and you're going to buy comics or manga someday, yeah. Or you know what, just throw them a bone once in a while. And we talked about stupid shaming on Twitter and stuff. It was fun. Lots of super chats. Here, let me see if I can bring... oh, I can't because I'm on two different computers right now. So here, this is a way we can do it. Let me turn that off. Whoop, that's me. Dumbass. Let's turn that off. You could see some stars for a second there. And we will go. There it is. I'm going to hear myself for a second. There we go. And then we're going to pop out the chat. So the chat shows up. And we get the pop out. There we go. It must be, there it is. I was like, where is it? There we go. Well, that's ridiculous. God, sometimes it's ridiculous. There we go. There are you pretty people. And we can line it up like this a little bit. Doing this live in the air, it's so great. There we go. Hail! Now we can see you. Now I can see you. So, yes, we're in deep space. Live. So, are you going to a PayPal system or a subscriber or other if you leave Patreon? It would be I would probably go stick with memberships on YouTube, memberships. And if people didn't want to do that, then I would do just a blanket subscriber thing on my website. And it would just be one price. Be cheap. And then you can join on the website. And then we do exclusive live streams, mostly book clubs, all the fun stuff I kind of wanted to do on my channel before I got into the culture war, like, reading in order the Boiled Leather version of or a Feast for Crows, which is a Feast for Feast for Dragons, which is a Feast for Crows and a Dance with Dragons combined, because they're supposed to be one book, and doing a book club in the reading order in anticipation for the Winds of Winter, which I think will come out next year. I think it will come out next year. I don't think it's coming out this year. It was supposed to. George was supposed to be done in a couple months. Now, he still could be. He's probably actually writing more now than he would have before. So it still could happen. I mean, we could have it. Oh my God. Would that be the best Christmas present ever? But I think the delay, I was asked earlier, I think the delay has everything to do with the sad puppies incident and shit being woke. And he had to rewrite a bunch of stuff. Damn it, notified. Hey, Philip, it's okay. I've been doing it for 98 minutes. I just made it public for a few minutes now. Because I can't stay on long. I'm supposed to actually be taking today off, but I wanted to do the Super Chat Square Up today. And I think Mrs. Nerdrotic is going to be home in about, I think, a half an hour. And we're going to hang out. We're going to hang out, watch some Netflix. Or something else. Maybe I can talk her into watching some Venture Brothers. Yes, indeed. So how's everybody doing? I'll go cry in the corner. You can watch it's public now. Are you bored? Why are you bored? Pool Kid 75. Listen, those are words I would never let my kids say. Ever. You're bored, huh? And my kids learned real quick to never say that in my house. Oh, you're bored? Oh, you're bored. Well, here's 6 long boxes of comics I need alphabetized. Go get them, kiddo. Here's a mop. Go get them, kiddo. Here's a vacuum. Here's a leash. Take your dog for a walk. Clean your room. Do some homework. Write a story. Draw a picture. I never, ever want to hear bored come out of your... Now, I understand what you guys are. You're locked down. But my kids, no. Hell no. I don't do bored. But I understand why a lot of people are, because you're locked down and you can't go outside. So I get it. I do. What's up, Father Christopher Miller? Yes, there's a member chat. There's a member stream tomorrow at 12 p.m. Pacific time. We're also going to schedule one at a later time because I've had multiple requests from our Australian friends to do one at a time that's better for them. So we're going to do that as well. Greetings, David Rose. How are you? Keaton Smith. Hail. What's up? What's up, Derek? I will be resuming season 1 of Buffy the Vampire Slayer, only going up to about the end of season 3 when it went weird for me, Willow becoming a witch. Man, that's where it gets going for me, Father Christopher Miller. That's a good idea. Maybe Mrs. Nerdrotic, because I rewatched Buffy last year in anticipation of doing a live stream with Mahler, but then we both got busy with Star Wars. So I need to rewatch it to get it because my brain is like, listen, stuff doesn't stick all the time. I forget as much as I know. There's only so much brain up there, and I ate a lot of it away with some really good hallucinogens in the 80s. So it's like Swiss cheese. So I got to rewatch it again. Oh, darn. I've got it on DVD. I've got, what did I buy it for? God, it was on sale. I got it for like $50, like 7 years ago or something like that. I got Angel season 1 through 5 at Walmart for $30. Physical media. Oh, thanks for the $2. Been nice to be back to work and among the humans. And I would like to say, everyone who went back to work today, thank you. Be safe. Nobody's gonna. Let's try something new, humanity. Now that we're all together, can we try something new? Can we try not to politicize the apocalypse? It's not really the apocalypse, by the way. It's been completely. It's a serious situation that's been completely overblown by the media. It scared people to death. I'm not going to shame people who got scared. I mean, if you got scared, you got scared. But let's not shame people who want to go back to work and feed their kids. Can we just try that one on for size? We're not telling people to go back and start rubbing up against each other and start licking each other. We just want a few people to go back to work in stages. I think it makes sense to do it in stages. I don't think they should do it all at once. I don't think we should like start, have a sporting event or a concert or anything crazy like that. How about just like baby steps of going back to work? I don't think that's something we should be shaming people for. I don't think we should be shaming people for worrying about our civil rights. I think that's a thing we should be worried about. I highly recommend, hey, if you're bored, watch the Joe Rogan podcast with Elon Musk. It's enlightening. It's a little frightening because Elon talks about the neural net and artificial intelligence. And listen, I'm totally against artificial intelligence in any way, shape, or form. But if anybody's going to make it, at least it's Elon, And it's not like, I don't know, Bill Gates or somebody like that, somebody evil. There's a lot of evil people out there. So yeah, we talked about a lot of stuff today. Shake and bake, shake and bake. Gary, I love the Super Chat square up. My favorite videos are you solo. Keep rocking, brother. Thanks for being here with us. Thank you very much. Lion. Illyrian Lion. I appreciate that. I'm mostly solo. Sorry, I didn't mean it. My camera shakes. I didn't mean to make you seasick there. What do you think about Elon saying he will move Tesla out of California if they stay-at-home orders keep going? I support him 1,000%. And I'm moving out of California if the stay-at-home orders do not lift soon. And I'm not kidding. I will not be locked down the rest of the year. Hell no. So I'll either break the law and my wife will break the law, or I'm going to move. I was going to move anyway, but I support Elon 1,000%. As a matter of fact, go to Texas, Elon. It would save him a ton of money. So I support Elon 1,000% for that. Again, and if you listen to his conversations, he makes a lot of sense. Elon doesn't bullshit. He doesn't bullshit. Now, what I talked about earlier in the square up was, and I'm not going to. Usually, me and this person get along. I believe. I mean, I haven't had a ton of interaction with this person, but I've never had a problem with a person. But he came back. Somebody hit me up with, what about Elon getting with Amber Turd? I don't care. Amber Turd's a foul person. She pooped on Johnny Depp's bed. She abused Johnny Depp. She made up evidence. She lied. In my opinion, she should be in jail. She should be freaking fired from Aquaman until she comes clean. If she comes clean, goes to rehab, tells the truth again, pays her penance, sure, she can go back to her job because I hate canceling people. But in the meantime, we got this double standard. I think she should probably get fired off her job like everybody else has. Or, I don't know, I mean, like Roseanne still doesn't have work, and all she said was a bad joke. But somebody tried to throw at me that Elon like hit, for lack of a better term. I'm sorry, ladies. Amber Heard. Who cares? I don't care about that stuff. People cheating on each other is not something I will ever talk about. I don't care. It's consenting adults. That has nothing to do with what Elon said on Joe Rogan. Listen to what he said on Joe Rogan. I'm trying to keep eye on the prize, everybody. We can't get into, we can't start, at least I can't start morally judging people because that's what the other side is doing. They've become the fundamentalists. So if people cheat, people cheat all the time. All right. I cheated on girlfriends when I was young, when I was a teenager. Girlfriends cheated on me. It's life. It's life. Bird of Prey 5. I wish I could move out of New York. Worse than California. It kind of is. I wish you could too. I wish you could too. And let me get this other one. Brandon Lucas, thank you for the £5. If you think about it, the prequel trilogy is about a girl who gets progressively demoted, gets pregnant, and dies. How problematic. Hashtag this force is female. I never thought about it like that. It's funny. That is funny. That is funny. Hi, everybody. Be nice to be back to work. I read that one, but thanks again. Okay, so Neurotic. Tesla preparing to pull out of California. Would you go back to Tesla if they moved to Texas? Hyperion 5182. I don't think they would have me back the way I quit. I don't think I'd be welcome back. No, I wouldn't go back to Tesla. It was a great place to work, and you know what? It was a great last Joe job to have. And it's not Elon's fault. He can't keep track of every department, but when it comes to I was working in parts. Okay, so I was working in wholesale and shop parts, back counter parts. And they were still in the learning phase. They wanted to bring people in who had auto parts experience because they were running it like a tech company, and they decided to want to shift to being more automotive focused. And so they started they actually called me. They out of the blue, they found my LinkedIn and they called me out of the blue and offered me a job. So I had a job that I liked at the time, but I was like, hey, they called me, and as Robert Meyer Burnett says, you deserve what you negotiate. So I asked for the world. I asked for an hourly rate that was higher than I've ever made before in my life. It was not twice what I was making at the time, but it was damn near twice what I was making at the time. And they gave it to me without batting an eye. Full benefits that cost me nothing. And I mean, that's vision, dental, everything. I mean, they paid for everything. So I'm like, fuck it. Now I had to commute an hour every day, which sucked. And I went there and it was good at first. But the person in charge at this one particular place, I didn't see eye to eye to this. This person was always changing the plan. He wouldn't stick with one damn plan for 2 fucking days. So it was always chaos. And I don't particularly like working environment. And the YouTube thing was starting to take off. And it was getting to be a distraction. And I saw an opportunity. I just saw this opportunity, this YouTube thing. I'm like, fuck it. I'm going to quit this ridiculously good job that I'm not very happy with, that makes a lot of money, to try this YouTube thing. And believe me, this is how cool Mrs. Nerdrotic says. She's like, go for it. And I said, if it didn't work out, I'd just go out and get another job. It's fine. But the whole goal was to eventually do this thing for a little while and open up a comic shop. And then this happened. But I hope Elon moves to Texas. I do. I think that would be a hell of a statement. That'd be a hell of a statement. And maybe he was thinking about it anyway. But what Elon said in Joe Rogan made a lot of sense. I'm going to paraphrase what he said. He said, there's not this magic pot that just makes shit, okay? We need people to make things. We need money to make things. The fact that there's this thought process out there that they could just keep cutting checks and keep people at home, it doesn't work like that. It just flat out doesn't work like that. I wish it did, but it doesn't. No, actually, I don't wish it did. I like working, but it doesn't. So we need to do something. We need to be safe. We need to be safe. I understand that. And I'll refer to Eric July and Elon. They're the experts. I'm a dummy, so and I don't watch mainstream news, so that's why I don't know a lot about that. I keep an eye on the stats here. Here in San Francisco, everything's pretty cool. I think we're still under 40. It sucks to have any deaths. Any deaths suck. Okay, but watch the podcast. It's pretty good. Get the fuck out of California. I will. Yeah, that's the part. Sir Ransom, I'm not high on the AI thing. I mentioned that earlier. At least it's Elon working on it, but there's no way I'm plugging anything. Listen, there's no implants going into my body of any kind, and there's no neural net being plugged into my head. I'm also not going to get into a driverless car. Call me a boomer. I never going to get into a driverless car. Nothing electronic is going to, unless it's, I don't know, unless I have heart problems or something like that. But yeah, I'm not plugging into an AI. No thanks. I asked about the writer of the newly announced Taika Waititi Star Wars film 15 years ago. Does that mean I kind of wrote the film? True story, by the way. I asked about the writer of the newly announced Taika Waititi film 15 years ago. Yes, it does, Brendan. Sure. It's kind of like if you have lunch in the same restaurant with Robert De Niro, in Hollywood speak, you had lunch with Robert De Niro. Technically, you did. AI is a joke. PCs crash all the time. I know, right? I mean, they talk about AI, and fucking Windows 10 sucks. I've gone back to PC now recently, and I'm reminded like they're not great either. I mean, they're better than new Mac. See, this is a Mac right here, so Mac is right there. It's my last Mac, and my PC's right here. PC's great. I got like a cool gaming PC. It's pretty kick-ass, and the Mac that I paid twice as much for is a piece of shit. Taika Waititi. Unless there's a choice of doing manual, I hate electronic steering. I prefer manual. I don't have it in my FJ Cruiser. It's automatic, but yeah, I prefer stick shift. I prefer no power steering, stick shift, basic shit. But I love my FJ Cruiser. I do. I miss driving it. I drove it a little bit yesterday to go. I visited my sponsor. We practiced social distancing recovery before Friday Night Tights. And I drove in a car for the first time in weeks. It was weird. Appleemmy's Minion, thank you for the $20. Use this to help your family move. Thank you, my friend. I will. The only thing that I'm dreading is taking apart this office. It's like, it's gonna suck. Do you know how long it took to put this thing together? It took a year. So the little push pins, so I put a push pin. Do I have one around here? I don't. So I put a push pin in between everybody's legs, unless they have like a skirt on or something. If it's a female action figure, then I put it under each arm. And you could see him back there. And you could only do so many. You know, I try to do it ambidextrous. I try to do it with like, so one thumb doesn't get tired, but you can only do a section at a time for your finger just feels numb. Yeah, it took a year. And then I put it together and then I hated it. So I reconfigured everything. As a matter of fact, after this live stream tomorrow, I'm going to, I can't do it today. I have to rearrange this whole section and move a carpet and stuff. Cause I gotta get this in the picture. Hang on. That's got to get in the picture. My rack. My rack. I got a vintage rack. Know what I'm saying? Vintage rack. You're going to need extra special shipping for that. Hyperion 5182. Yes, I'm going to need. I'm gonna have to do it in sections. So each loose figure, I'm gonna have to put it in a box like this is wall 1 because I want to try to configure the new office the same as this one. It'll be bigger. This is a small room. This is practically a closet. This used to be the baby's room. And that's why we have like the bright colors in here. This is where Logan grew up, and he grew up on a heavy dose of Spider-Man, the animated series, and Batman, the Brave and the Bold. I'm a good dad. Yeah, I am. Gary has a rack. I do. You want to see it? Again, there you go. There's my rack. Here, I could spin it. You want me to spin my rack? Oh, it's got a long box in the way. I can't spin it fully. My Batman long box is in the way. I'm going to be bagging and boarding that with Az on Tuesday on his channel. Our Grace, where's your note? Gary, get 4x8 plywood, paint, take a section apart, and place the figures on the wood in the same order. Once it's done, that's a good idea, R. Grace. That's kind of a good idea. I see that now. I like that. Gary, you should know that in today's world, men wear skirts too. Eric K., you're right. You're right. Damn, that's an impressive rack. Says Spartan Jeremy. Is Ironheart on Disney Plus what I think it is? Ironheart on Disney Plus is going to be what you think it is. It's going to be like an after school level superhero show. So it's probably going to be harmless, but it's going to be part of the MCU. And I wouldn't be surprised if they turn it into like a 2-camera set sitcom or something like that. We don't know. So it's better than in the films. The question you have to ask is like, how many superheroes did they go over to bring us Ironheart? And it's what Ironheart symbolizes. I tried to state it in my video. It's not the character's fault. You know what? If Alan Moore wrote Ironheart, we'd probably get a good story. We would. Probably would. But we know that's not going to happen. We know it's the symbolism of it. It's what it represents. And it's not the character's fault. It has nothing to do with it being a little girl or a little black girl. It's got everything to do with the dudes who wrote the book and what they were using that character for, which was a shield, which was virtue signaling. So it was white dudes using a black girl, a fictional black girl, as a shield for their virtue signaling so they can feel a little better about themselves on Twitter. Like Ron Mars. Ron Mars put up that tweet so he can get a dopamine hit, a journeyman comic book writer who's still insecure at the age of 54, who needs to write that. So this is going to piss off all the right people. And then he just goes, oh, come on, give me the likes. Give me the likes. That is, I can't think of anything more soy and pathetic. I mean, like, this is men in our country right now. We would get conquered in a fucking second. But I mean, like, what the fuck? Ron Mars. Yeah, he fridged a girl and he's probably trying to make up for it ever since. So what? Don't listen to Gail Simone. Comic industry, don't listen to Gail Simone. Don't listen to Tess Fowler. Don't listen to these people. Maybe once try to listen to us if you want to make money. I mean, but it's much more important for you guys to look good. I guess we got Sean Murphy's crowdfunding title announced today, and I couldn't be more uninterested in anything called plot holes. Butter Biscuit, thank you for the $2. Oh, Eric K., I'll get to you in a second, Butter Biscuit. Hang on. Eric K., you know how in today's world men wear skirts? Do not be toxic. I'm so toxic. You rich Californian and your definition of closet, Butter Biscuit 92 for $2. I am not a rich Californian. It's all relative. This room it's 12 feet by 12 feet. It's not big. It looks bigger on the camera than it actually is. Trust me, I can practically reach back and touch that stuff. It's only a couple feet away from me, so it is not big. Hey, we do okay. I'm middle class. We do okay because my wife, you know, that's the thing. My wife was having a debate with one of her clients about this. My wife, strong female lead, came to San Francisco with $150, worked her ass off so she could own her own business 27 years later. And she worked that fucking hard to get shut down. She complied. She did everything she had to do. And, you know, you can't blame or shame these people like Melissa for wanting to go back to work safely And, because it's not going to be the same. It's not going to be like a crowded salon. It's going to be a salon where they have to practice social distancing. By the way, she's a trained health and safety expert. She has to have a license to practice hair here in California. So, but yeah. Mark C, thank you for the super chat though. It's a very small room. It's not considered a bedroom because it doesn't have the a big enough closet here in California. So our house is considered a 2-bedroom, 1-bath house, although we have 4 bedrooms and 2 baths. But they're not they're not of legal size. I must correct the chat statement. Some genetic males might wear skirts. Men do not. There you go, Mark C. Brendan Lucas. It was asked out. New Star Wars film. It was asked out. New Star Wars film. She wrote 1917 2. Film won't be out for 5 years anyway due to ongoing concerns. Good luck with everything. Well, thank you, Brendan. Yeah, if she was involved in 1917, I support it because that was a great movie. I still don't know entirely what you're referring to, Brendan. It feels like I'm missing part of that conversation. But if you brought her up like as a name, as a good writer for Star Wars, then good on you because 1917 was one of the best movies I saw this year because I saw it this year. It was fantastic. I'm going to own it, and I'm glad I watched it in the theater. It was brilliant in every way. Corey Timmons for $5. Gary, please watch Supernatural. It is before CW. It is so old it aired on the WB. The creator of The Boys on Amazon is the creator of the Supernatural. Corey, I've seen Supernatural. I watched the first 5 seasons when it was on the WB. Oh yeah, I remember. Yeah, most definitely. Jensen Eccles, he jumped from Smallville. To Supernatural. Oh yeah, I watched it, and then I stopped watching it. Gary, you are so right. As a military man, I always wonder if our adversaries are weakening their men like Western society is. I doubt they are guilting their men into, guilting. The guilting and shaming stuff is getting old for me. Personally, people can make independent decisions. If somebody wants to stay at home, please. If you're at risk, please stay at home. They mentioned it in the podcast. If you common sense, Elon Musk said, if you have a kid, because I always did this, if my kid had a runny nose, I wouldn't have. If my kid was sick, I'm not going to go visit my mom. I mean, that's with the flu or anything. This is before any of this stuff happened. If my kid had a runny nose, I wasn't going to go visit my mom because my mom's at risk with the flu. So I'm not going to have my sick kid all over my mom. We want to do that all the time anyway. Common sense. But I mean, yeah. I'm trying to see this bottom one here. Hang on. I'm working on 2 computers here. I asked her out in college. Oh, you did? Oh. Well, did she say yes? Did you get a date? Did you tell? Oh, so you told her. Do you think you turned her on to Star Wars, Brendan? Cool. Yes, you should get a co-writing. You should get a credit for that. I believe so. Brendan Lucas. Okay. So I'm going to have to wrap things up. I know you can always rewind and watch the rest. I did a whole Super Chat Square up for like 90 minutes before this. So Chris P, thank you for the $5. I just wanted to go live for like a second. I wasn't expecting all this. Hail, Gary. I'm going to start watching Farscape on your recommendation. I found some dirt cheap used DVDs to get started. Yes. If you guys haven't watched Farscape, I think it's on Amazon Prime, but you can find the DVDs for cheap on eBay. There's a ton of great deals on eBay right now, folks. For example, I had Venture Brothers like digital but I didn't have like I didn't have them physical. I got like a stack of them physical for like $80. So, and these are Blu-rays in here too. So that's great. I can watch my special features now. Go Team Venture. Farscape is awesome. You can get, it's on Blu-ray too. There's a 15th anniversary Blu-ray box set that's pretty good, but that usually goes for like $100. That's a lot. It'd be a lot cheaper to just join for Prime for a month. Yeah. And I think the quality is pretty good. Space 1999 is awesome. Chris Mead. Farscape was canceled too early. I remember being in my shop. People were like pissed that it got canceled. Go Team Venture. Yeah, see, I need to get the comics now, Matthew. I need to get the Farscape comics. Jodie Whittaker's stuff is going cheap. Yeah, she can't sell. Everything's going to change within the next couple of years. You see some people acting all resolute and strong right now. Just keep this in mind. Star Wars figures weren't selling. So if Star Wars figures weren't selling, how do you think Star Trek and Doctor Who shit's doing right now? Probably not very good. Because arguments could be made that they're just as bad off as Star Wars, if not worse. Now, Doctor Who is worse. So nobody's buying Jodie's stuff. No, and she's the main character. It's like if Rose Tico was the main character for Star Wars. That's Jodie, Dr. Karen, the first female doctor played by Jodie Whittaker, who we will lovingly call Dr. Karen. Supernatural crossed over with Scooby-Doo. Watch it. I did watch that episode, Kari Timmons. That's the latest. That's the last Supernatural episode I actually watched. It was great. Brendan Lucas. No. Well, I was rooting for you, Brendan. I was rooting for you. Surly Unicorn. That's the next thing I have to watch is Blake 7, but I got to watch something with Mrs. Neurotic tonight. Farscape was universally loved and had a strong female written right. Absolutely. Farscape had just as big of it was 50-50 split. It was like Doctor Who. It had as many women watching it as men. Hail to the chat. Hail everybody. Thank you very much. And I will see you guys soon. I'm going to do a chill stream tomorrow. You guys up for a chill stream? We'll do a chill stream tomorrow. Maybe we'll discuss Venture Brothers and Farscape and just all the shit we like and not talk about the culture war for a couple hours. Does that sound good? I think it sounds great. So let's do it. So look for the thumbnail of Gandalf on a computer. That's always the sign of the chill stream. The sign of the chill stream. Hail to the chat. Hail to the Fandom Menace. Hail RIP Doctor Who. I don't know if Noel is still on. I know he was doing a watch live stream. Head on over to Noel and the TARDIS Zone. I think he's live streaming with Bull's Trek right now. I'm not sure. I'm not entirely. That might be over. I don't know. My time's all messed up. But until then, everybody have a great day. I want to make sure please like, share, and subscribe here in Nerdrotic Live. We're approaching 25,000 subscribers. Thanks for everything, Fred Monzo. I appreciate it. Thank you for the $4.99. And I will see you guys tomorrow morning for a chill stream. And then if you're a member on Nerdrotic, we have a member stream tomorrow at 12 p.m. Pacific time. So thank you very much. And remember, not all who wander are lost. Ciao, ciao.